Yo ho ho! It's the AFC South Roundtable. Welcome to another edition of your favorite show concerning the AFC South. Make sure you smash that like button on your way in. It's completely free, helps out the channel, and it continues to grow this wonderful show that we intend to continue on bringing to your front doorstep on a weekly basis. Gentlemen, the Kansas City Chiefs, all right, are Super Bowl champions for the third time since Mahomes came to town. And on today's edition, we are going to go around the table and ask each and every single host what their team specifically needs to do in order to get over that Kansas City hump, who at this time appears to be the next dynasty. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots reincarnated, as Ruben mentioned this most previous episode yesterday. And very excited to unpack all of that. But let's just go around the table, see how everybody is doing right before we dive into the nitty gritty. Starting off with Derek. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I'm chilling, man. Just happy to finally be here and get some content going, man. So let's do this thing.
Titans Rossi.
All right, man. You know, all my teams in Tennessee have been terrible this year. NBA, NHL, freaking college, the Titans. So I'm ready for 2024, to be honest. I'm ready for the new season of everything.
Oh man, he's ready to go. You know what? It's the revenge tour for Tennessee next year. Dalton, what's going on with you, man?
Well, all is good with me, man. Not laggy at all, and I'm ready, man. Now the Jaguars are on the clock to win the Super Bowl, so I am ready, set, and prepared for it's going to be a very exciting NFL season.
Ruben.
You see how funny UCF is when the Jaguars are not ruining his life? Man, I am blessed and highly favored. Love talking to you boys, man. Let's get this started.
Let's get it going. So as mentioned, all right, so the Kansas City Chiefs have cemented themselves as this generation's, this decade's dynasty, all right? And many, especially in the AFC and maybe even some in the NFC at this point, are just really trying to bite the bullet and be able to accept the fact that they are more than likely going to be winning several more Lombardi trophies. So my question posed to each and every single one of you, what does your team need to do this offseason to be competitive with the Kansas City Chiefs? Because if your team wants to get to the promised land, there's no question that you need to get through this Kansas City Chiefs, Pat Mahomes-led team. I want to start off with Derek. Derek, what do the Colts need to do in order to get over this hump?
Well, I would go with the model of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. It doesn't matter really how great of a defense you actually put out there. You know, Patrick Mahomes is still going to do whatever he does to eventually win games. So the best way to try and combat the Kansas City Chiefs is to be able to try to do the same things that they do, which is have an offense that can match what the Kansas City Chiefs can do. That's very hard to do, obviously, when you have as great of a coach and quarterback as they do. But I feel very confident with Shane Steichen and Anthony Richardson moving forward, being able to bring a new element to the offense. Just ultimately, we need to put more weapons out on the field. Jonathan Taylor is definitely going to continue to be a great threat for us, but we always know running backs are not always the most important thing out there. I'm really hoping for the Colts to be able to make a splash move either in free agency or the draft, getting an elite weapon of some kind. Here, Brock Bowers out of Georgia would be very nice. I highly doubt he makes it to 15, which is why I'm kind of hoping that Indianapolis might try to trade up a few picks just to try to get a better chance at it. But I definitely think that is the number one thing for Indianapolis to try to be able to compete with the Chiefs, is just trying to front load that offense, give Anthony Richardson as much weaponry as possible so he doesn't really have to rely as much on his legs throughout the year, and know that he has safety blankets wherever that may be. And then, you know, when it comes to the defensive side, I mean, you got to continue to keep finding guys who can who can cover. I mean, you saw what happened with the Kansas City Chiefs. They had a guy on the defensive line that could always create pressure on the quarterback. And then they had corners that could guard the best weapons for the 49ers. So if Indy can just find that true number one guy, which I hope is Juju Brents at some point. But obviously he was just a rookie this last year, and he's had a little bit of injury problems to start the year. But I think that he showed in the times that he was in, and it was pretty much half a season, he was able to lock down Devontae Adams very well. And then if you can just try to find that true number one edge guy that can get some pressure wherever he is, that's just ultimately what's going to help to slow down Patrick Mahomes. I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds like it's a lot, which it definitely is a lot, but I feel like Indy's got a good foundation for it, but we still have to just try and find that number one guy, especially on offense, that's just going to take this team to the whole next level.
All right, Ruben. The reigning AFC South champions. All right. What do they need to do to eventually get past the Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, this is no tough task, man. Like I said in the last episode, the Kansas City Chiefs are now the Empire. But to me, CJ Stroud is Luke Skywalker. Look, what the Houston Texans need to do is be spenders this free agency. They could potentially have around $70 to $80 million to mess around with. They should be able to afford 1 to 2 really, really good guys. And on the defensive side, you need to lock up the interior. I am looking at someone like Justin Matabuke from the Baltimore Ravens, 26 years old, just an absolute beast coming off a 13-sack season. Cornerback is something I want them to address, not only in free agency, but in the draft as well. In the draft, I love Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama. I have a friend who works for the Texans Wire, talked about cornerback Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo having a very good Senior Bowl, was going up against the very best wide receivers and just locking them down. And also, why I say corner, because opposite of Derek Stingley, who's there, Steven Nelson is testing free agency. He's not going to come back. I think those are the biggest two needs for the Houston Texans on defense. Switching to the offense, you need playmakers for CJ Stroud. I think Saquon Barkley or Josh Jacobs would make this Houston Texan offense elite. You already heard ESPN reporters Marcus Spears say the Houston Texans need to go get Saquon and watch how he transforms this Houston Texan offense. A lot of people here are hesitant, right? He has the injury history. Hey, the 49ers had these same type of talks when they traded for Christian McCaffrey. Overall, man, the Texans have already started the offseason strong, bringing back Bobby Slowick and Gerard Johnson for 1 more year. You need to be spenders in this offseason, and then you have to have a killer draft. Man, like I said, this is no tough task, but when you have the NFL's offensive rookie of the year, the NFL's defensive rookie of the year, and my head coach just lost by 1 vote, man, I feel like we are there.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, right? I mean, this off season that we are all getting ready to dive into, there's a lot of moving pieces. There's free agency, there's the drafts. However, as fans, we like to imagine, what are the chances right now? Can the Texans win the Super Bowl next year? Can the Colts? Can the Jags? Can the Titans? And I'll tell you what, it's a great segue because BetUS just so happens to be the sponsor of this channel right now. They're the best sports book in the face of the planet. Go to for every single Roundtable Sports episode or show that you end up watching. Matching 125% of your initial deposit the second that you do sign up. And the customer service is as easy as possible. And as you guys can see, we already have NFL futures right ahead of us. Woo. All right. And I'll tell you what, I would like to go around the table and ask each and every single one of you how confident you would be to put down $100 that your team can pull it out. We'll start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Plus 3,000 odds to win the 2025 Super Bowl. Dalton, how you feeling about that?
Yeah, man, the Jaguars are going to be fully healthy next year. Trevor Lawrence, we all know, is him. Doug Peterson's going to say, you know what, Trent Baalke, I'm tired of letting you affect me. And they're going to go out there and win the Super Bowl, okay? We're right where we want to be, right middle of the pack, okay? Nobody's watching us. Right now, the Texans are shielding shielding all the what's it called, the eyes away from the Jaguars, because like Ruben was saying this year, man, nobody expected anything out of the Texans. Now everybody's expecting everything out of the Texans. Now the Jaguars are in the shadows, and if you know anything about Jaguars, they hunt in the dark. Okay, so that's what the Jaguars will do metaphorically in this football season. I'm ready for it to be here. I can't wait. Yeah, guys, you know what? Put $150 on the Jaguars.
Oh
Okay?
man,
That's how juiced up I am about it.
he is feeling himself today, ladies and gents. Titans Rossi. All right, man. I'm staring at this Tennessee Titans team right now, and I'm looking at a damn plus 10,000. Plus 10,000 for Will Levis and company to pull off the impossible. What you thinking?
Yeah, man, just go ahead and put 1,000 down. The Titans are going all the way. You know what I mean? I mean, they're going to shock the world next season. Brian Callahan bringing his dad, Bill Callahan, the famous NFL offensive line head coach, previous head coach. You know what I mean? It's going to be awesome. No, I don't, man. It's going to be a rebuilding type of year. They're going to be cleaning house. I just don't see. Honestly, I don't see the Titans doing. I mean, they might get a couple more wins. They might be a 8-win type of team. I don't know, 7 wins. They should improve. I would say they should improve. They couldn't get much worse on the offensive line. But I don't know, man. It's going to be a weird year for us. Now, there are a lot of people saying they would like to come to the T. Higgins mentioned, talking about coming and playing with Brian Callahan and all this and that. But, a lot of that's just kind of hearsay and then saying what people want to hear. So, yeah, I mean, the Titans, I don't know if they deserve to be second to last. I don't know about that, but they're definitely down there for a reason.
God. Ruben, I'm sitting here looking at the Houston Texans odds.
Mm.
So where are the Houston Texans odds at, Richie? Scroll up for me real fast, my friend. Is it at plus 3,000?
It was like plus 2,500, I thought.
Plus 2,500. What's the confidence level there?
Let's go ahead and put 150 on it so I could pay my rent and my car. Listen, you have Coleridge Bernard Stroud IV in year 2 with his offensive coordinator coming back one more year and his quarterback coach coming back one more year, Gerard Johnson. Like I mentioned just a while ago, spend the money, get yourself some weapons. No one expected you to get 10 wins, win the AFC South, win a home playoff game, blowing out the Cleveland Browns. The Texans are there, ladies and gentlemen. They are ahead of schedule. Go ahead and put 250 down and check this out. And I mean this, and I promise you, Hannah got up on that line. Me and my father and my friend were thinking about putting money on CJ Stroud earlier in the offseason on Rookie of the Year, and we were also going to put some on Will Anderson. The reason why we didn't, because what we were smoking fell down, and I have carpet. I am not making the same mistake. I am putting some money on this Houston Texans team.
All right. Derek, let's take a look at the Colts right over here, man. Where are the odds right here? What am I seeing for this?
You have to look way down. Way down. There you go.
There.
Way down. There they are. Plus 5,000. What are you thinking?
I want to just like say something here real quick. How in the hell is Chicago and Atlanta up above me right now? What in the world are we doing here?
Because they've only seen 2 quarters of Anthony Richardson,
and yet we still almost made the playoffs. Higher odds, but yet not higher odds than Atlanta, who sucked, and Chicago, who sucked.
Y'all got a Pro Bowl quarterback in Gardner Minshew. We talked about this.
We talked about this.
That's true.
Listen, I am all for it because listen, Anthony Richardson, based off of quite a few odds, is a dark horse candidate for MVP next year. And I feel, like I said, I have extreme confidence in Shane Steichen and Anthony Richardson to go into next year proving everybody wrong, which I truly believe if Anthony Richardson stays healthy, it is going to happen. So, hey, if you're wanting to put some free money down on it, then you might find yourself shocked, honestly.
Free.
free money on the
Well,
Colts.
BetUS does give you 125% deposit bonus. So put the $100 down on something realistic, then the $125 on the Colts.
On the free play.
Yeah, on the
And so
free
on the
play.
Is there
There you go.
MVP odds already?
Not
No,
yet. Not yet.
I don't
That is
know.
the only future that they have. And as of right now, guys, you can bet on the draft as well.
Ooh.
More lines will be coming out. Definitely going to be seeing some of the combine lines, which is happening in just about a week as well, and then also free agency. It's going to be a very exciting offseason, especially when it comes to BetUS. But check it out in the description. We always sincerely appreciate partnering with the best sports book on the face of the planet. All right, Dalton. The Jacksonville Jaguars obviously ended up in a, I'd say, somewhat disappointing this year.
Very disappointing.
However, I mean, a lot are optimistic that they can turn it around next year. What do they need to do this offseason to where they can compete with the Kansas City Chiefs if they were to get to that point in 2020?
Well, to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, first, you need something that I think a lot of us are obviously pretty confident that all of our teams have, maybe besides Rossi, is that you need the head coach and the quarterback combo, okay? That's what the Chiefs have, and that's how they have so much magic going on. And I really do believe in Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and hype him up right now just because of the way the season ended. And, I don't want to be Mr. Excuse Maker about, all the different things that happened, but through everything I've seen from him, I am very confident he's that dude. And, I'm very confident in, Doug Peterson being able to kind of do a self audit of this team and, figure out how to move this thing going forward and figure out what went wrong with the offense and, really address things. And the main thing that the Jaguars need to do, and it's something that the Chiefs kind of stole my thunder on, is that football outside of the quarterback is the most important in the trenches, man. You need to have your offensive line good where you can run the ball, where you can protect the quarterback. You need to have defensive line good where they can stop the run, where they can get pressure on the quarterback when needed. The Jaguars did neither of those things last year, and it especially got prevalent down the stretch when guys started getting injured, and then Etienne was super ineffective because every time he got the ball, he got hit. All we were able to do was outside zone run plays. And Trevor Lawrence, whenever he would drop back, he would get immediately hit. And he had 3 different injuries in December when, the first 3 years of his career, he's only had like 1 or 2 injuries. You know what I mean? So that is the main thing. Fix the offensive line. It's funny because right now, everybody's going crazy because this is how bad we are. This is how bad the offensive line was last year. People are getting hyped about his name is Jackson Powers Johnson from the center from Oregon. Is he being mocked to the Jaguars at 17? We're all pumped about a center being drafted in the first round. You know what I mean? So fortify the interior of the offensive line, fortify the interior of the defensive line. And like I was saying about the Chiefs earlier, like Chiefs only had 1 reliable ball catcher this year, and that was Travis Kelce. Everybody else was constantly letting Patrick Mahomes down. So invest in your offensive line. And I think the outside positions, they'll kind of come into play. And I like some of our positions. I like Christian Kirk. I like what's called Evan Ingram. But I think the Jaguars of those positions just need to go younger, need to invest some draft picks in wide receiver. And overall, that's where the whole entire season failed us, is that the trenches for the Jaguars were just flat out not good enough.
All right. Last but not least, Titans Rossi. All right. I mean, you did mention already that this team obviously is going to be going through a rebuild, but I mean, what are like the first couple of moves where you eventually can compete with the Dynasty?
Well, we pick at number 7. A lot of Titans fans want Joe Alt from Penn State if he drops to number 7. And Brian Callahan, going back to the Bengals, he did a lot without a good offensive line. I mean, he went to the Super Bowl without really a good offensive line at all. So a lot of people are thinking he might go ahead and pick like a Malik Neighbors if he's there at number 7 over Alt or something like that. But I think, we just need to get an offensive line. I mean, the last 2 seasons, we've literally had the worst left tackle in the league. And it wasn't just one person. It was the season before. It was Dennis Daly. He was literally the worst left tackle in the league statistically. Sacks given up, penalties, This year it was Andre Dillard, statistically the worst in the league. So 2 years in a row, they have been awful at the left tackle position. So I mean, left tackle is something that you could build a franchise upon. I mean, it could literally be one of maybe the second, third most position other than quarterback on a team. I mean, that's how important that position is. When you got guys like Bosa who are chasing you around, and Josh Allen and all those guys, so that's first and foremost, you know what I mean? They need to get another playmaker outside of DeAndre Hopkins. They need like a speedy receiver. The defense might be okay, but I just don't see, with the new coaching staff and all that stuff, I don't see this team really getting back on their feet until 2025 probably.
Gosh.
But I do have faith in Will Levis, and he did beat the crap out of Trevor Lawrence in ping pong. So we got that.
Fun.
He's got us at ping pong. I'll give you that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and so as you can see, we're certainly going to be doing a lot of plotting this offseason of exactly what is going to be happening with the AFC South. Certainly keep an eye out for mock drafts, free agent signing, and all breaking news surrounding the AFC South. We highly encourage that you subscribe to this channel. And then also definitely go ahead and subscribe to each and every single one of these gentlemen. They all do a wonderful job at covering their team during the offseason and even during the season by itself. In fact, you know what? Let's go around the table so we can tell everybody what you're doing on an individual basis for this offseason. Starting off with Derek, man. What should they look forward to on Bring the Juice?
Hey, you should look forward to a lot of great videos, specifically about Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, and some of the other stars of the Indianapolis Colts. And we have live streams, we have recorded videos, we have reactions, we have everything. We cover everything and anything that we can. And we definitely are going to be having a lot of live streams coming up for free agency, and also a live stream reaction to the NFL draft this year as well. So if you guys enjoy just watching people react to some of the biggest events in the NFL, you found the right channel.
So what about you, Ruben, man?
Man, just get ready for one of the most exciting off seasons in the past 5-6 years for this Houston Texans team. First time in 2 years, you have money, you have draft picks. We are dropping content. Well, I say we, but I am dropping content almost every single day on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. And, thank you for everyone who has watched, man.
So what about you, Dalton?
Bro,
what's the off-season plan?
My channel has more content right now than you guys believe, man. I got to hit my Bet US deliverables, man. I'm pumping these videos out right now. So, yeah, we're going to have I'm going to have a free agency video coming out later today. We're also going to be talking about whether or not the Jaguars will keep Calvin Ridley later this week. I mean, I've got all kinds of videos coming and hopefully some live streams as well. But, hey, man, this channel's popping and it ain't stopping, okay?
Ooh.
Ooh. I love it. Titans Rossi, man, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, on the Titan Upload Network, we have Titan Upload is getting back at it and doing 2 shows a week. He's going to be doing the radio call-in show. It's a pretty cool feature where we actually have people can call in like a radio show. And then on Thursday nights, I have the Rossi Report on there. And we have some of the best guests on Titans YouTube, on our channel on the Rossi Reports. I mean, we have some really big name guests come on every single Thursday night on the Rossi Report. Big to the Titans world at least. And so that's live every Thursday night. And on Monday nights, the Power Hour, Mike, who's been on here, Michael Bishop, he has a show every Monday night. So we have 3-4 live shows a week, and we release recorded videos, and we'll just keep the trend, going into 2024 here.
It's an exciting time. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the AFC South Roundtable. And as always, we'll see you next week.